Alright guys, Forsaken are finally listening to the community, including golden skins getting custom items, a fan favorite Aberrant skin finally being developed, and even an insane concepted redesign for an upcoming killer. Let's get into it. As we already know, a bunch of new golden skins are currently on the way to Forsaken, and one of the most controversial has easily been Guest 1337's. When the skin was first revealed, it immediately received a huge amount of backlash, because players felt it looked far too similar to several existing skins that already used the same military style mask. Many people were hoping for something completely unique, especially considering golden skins are supposed to be some of the rarest cosmetics in the game. However, after all of that criticism, the skin has already received its first update. Isaac recently posted a funny meme animation, giving us a work in progress look at the redesign. The animation takes place inside a boxing ring, where Slash's VIP skin faces off against the new golden guest. While it's mainly just a joke, it also gives us our first look at several new additions, including the proper golden glow seen on the other golden skins, custom 1337 brass knuckles, and even a brand new punch animation that absolutely sends Slasher flying. Since Isaac also asked the community whether they wanted to see more meme animations teasing upcoming content, and the majority voted yes, there's a good chance this won't be the last time we see future updates revealed like this. Despite those improvements, a lot of players still aren't completely convinced. Aside from the new effects and accessories, the overall design hasn't changed much. Most of the criticism is still focused on the mask, although it's worth remembering that it's part of an established Roblox military hat series, so it's unlikely to be replaced entirely. At the same time, another debate has started surrounding the VIP Game Pass. Some players believe buying VIP should let you claim one golden skin for free, while others argue that would completely ruin the purpose of these skins being the ultimate flex reward after weeks of grinding. A possible compromise could be giving VIP owners a discount instead, adding more value to the Game Pass without completely removing the challenge. Then again, maybe golden skins are supposed to stay difficult to earn. Should golden skins still be worth the grind? There is actually one type of skin that players have been waiting to see more of for the longest time, and that's the Aberrant skin. So far, John Doe is still the only character to receive one, but ever since it was revealed, the community has been asking for another, especially Aberrant Cool Kid. Recently, there was a lot of confusion after Alexis Funny was supposedly removed from working on Forsaken. However, it now looks like they've returned and are once again helping develop the different Aberrant skins. One of the biggest things they're currently focusing on is improving the existing Aberrant content before introducing even more. Alex has already started reanimating Aberrant John Doe, with plans to add additional kill animations for both Jane Doe and Ringmaster, while making the skin feel much more polished overall. They've even been asking the community for suggestions on how the animations could be improved. With Aberrant skins finally getting attention again, a lot of players have started talking about Aberrant Cool Kid. One of the best concepts comes from Super Bonker 06, who created an incredibly creepy version of the character. Instead of the normal Cool Kid design, this concept shows him holding a green balloon, while a giant centipede crawls through his eyes, giving the skin a much darker horror vibe that fits Forsaken perfectly. The balloon itself is also a really cool callback to one of Forsaken's old soundtrack icons posted in the Discord, likely from 2024. It's such a small detail that most players probably forgot about, but bringing it back makes the entire concept feel even more unique. It's not just Cool Kid that's receiving attention either. Aberrant Noli is also getting another redesign, with Alex updating the face that seems to be resembling the bygone Noli skin that was shown off, which is also kind of similar to Yai Noli. As if the bygone Noli skin gets added, it will be one of the tallest skins in-game, making it way more menacing. At this point, it's pretty clear that Aberrant skins aren't going anywhere, and hopefully it won't be too long before we finally see Cool Kid, Noli, and the updated John Doe animations make their way into Forsaken. Which new Aberrant skin are you most excited to see? There is actually one killer that players have been waiting to see in Forsaken for the longest time, and that's Jeff the Killer. No matter what game you see him in, Jeff almost always looks exactly the same. A guy in a white hoodie holding a knife. But with Forsaken redesigning so many different characters, there's a really good chance Jeff will eventually receive his own unique interpretation as well. One of the best concepts I've seen comes from Melt, who completely reimagined what Jeff the Killer could look like inside Forsaken. Instead of simply copying the original design, game, this version shows Jeff being completely consumed by the Spectre's corruption. Half of his face has been overtaken by the dark corruption, while sharp spikes begin growing throughout his body, almost like the mutations we've already seen on John Doe. His clothes are ripped apart, covered in blood, and even his legs have become corrupted, making him look far more terrifying than the classic version everyone already knows. What makes this concept even better is the lore behind it. According to Melt, the Spectre promised Jeff that he would finally be reunited with his old friends, while also granting him enough power to play with his new toys, referring to the survivors trapped inside Forsaken. However, that power comes at a huge cost. Jeff's body is slowly decaying because it simply can't handle the Spectre's corruption flowing through him, making this version feel both incredibly powerful and genuinely unsettling at the same time. Honestly, I think this is one of the most creative takes on Jeff the Killer I've ever seen. Instead of just giving us another version of the same character we've seen for years, it fully embraces Forsaken's dark horror style while connecting him directly to the game's existing lore. Since we've already seen the Spectre corrupting different characters throughout Forsaken, this concept honestly feels like something that could fit into the game perfectly. If Jeff the Killer ever does make it into Forsaken, I really hope the developers take inspiration from ideas like this. Would you want to see a redesigned Jeff the Killer added to the game? So, there were once a bunch of slasher skins in-game that a lot of players might remember. These skins were removed from the game during the slasher update, and this mainly came down to copyright concerns. Forsaken didn't want to risk issues with characters that were too similar to existing franchises, so skins like Arrival Slasher, Manhattan, Leatherface. However, one skin that managed to stay was Miguel, and that is because it was more of a parody version rather than a direct reference, which allowed it to avoid those problems. Even though these skins were removed, there's still a huge amount of interest in seeing them return, but this time with redesigns that avoid copyright issues entirely. One of the biggest concepts right now is a reworked version of Leatherface called Pigskin, which is being developed by Gubblegum. This concept takes inspiration from both the original film and Roblox history, specifically referencing the John Roblox character. Because of that, it manages to keep the iconic feel of Leatherface while still being unique enough to fit within Forsaken without any legal concerns. A lot of players are already saying this could easily be added to the game. Then there's also a brand new Arrival Slasher redesign created by Deskiptable, and this one keeps the original idea but updates it in a much more creative way. The design now shows Slasher's bacon hair slightly visible through his hood, and there are multiple changes to the loadout as well. The Necrobloxicon has been replaced with something more similar to a Slenderman style page, while the Area 51 chainsaw is still being used. On top of that, the main weapon is now the camping machete gear, and the body still uses a mix of undercover superhero limbs with the Robloxian 2.0 torso, keeping that classic feel while modernizing it. What's even more interesting is that one of the developers actually showcased this concept recently, which basically confirms that this version is planning to return to the game. So it's clear that the Forsaken team is aware of these redesigns and is open to bringing them back in a new form. So, Forsaken answered a bunch of community questions and teased several features that are coming to the game. Character reworks. With Nolly being the main character currently being discussed, nothing has officially been confirmed yet, but we've already seen ideas that could push him into a much more troll-focused playstyle, as one of them was fake attacking guests, so it will be interesting to see which direction they'll eventually take. Elliot's milestone skins are getting reworked, which likely means Builderman's milestones will also follow as well. On top of that, legacy skins like Gluttony Nosferatu, which is actually considered one, and Legacy 2 Time are planned to become obtainable again in the future. One of the biggest reveals though was a brand new randomizer game mode. Every round, you'll spawn as a completely random survivor or killer. Sadly, Figure from Doors will no longer becoming a killer because of development complications, but the Doomspire Brick Battle collab is still actively being worked on and is definitely still happening. The devs were also asked why updates take so long, and they explained that they don't want to rush content just for the sake of releasing it faster. They want every character to be fully polished before launch. One of the biggest changes they're planning is a brand new generator minigame. Right now, everyone has to do the exact same generator interaction every single match, and after a while, it gets pretty repetitive. So adding different minigames for each generator should make repairing them a lot more fun instead of feeling like the same thing over and over again. The live stream revealed a lot more than what people expected, so So, Forsaken still have a bunch more to come that we can see sometime soon. Will they actually listen to us still? Like and subscribe right now. We are jeffing it.